Hey guys, it's Sarah with ExtremeTerrain.com, and today we have a review and install of the MBRP single exhaust system in a turndown, fitting your 05 to 15 4.0 liter Toyota Tacomas. This is perfect for the Tacoma owner who wants a budget-friendly exhaust system that features a turn down at the axle for some more clearance, as well as some improved sound. This single exhaust system features MBRP's Installer Series 2.5-inch mandrel bent piping as well as muffler. It has the same fitment as their stainless systems, but without the price tag. This exhaust system turns down at the axle to give you some more clearance when you're taking your Tacoma off-road, removing that rear piping section entirely. Now this is a catback system, meaning you retain your factory catalytic converters. However, this exhaust system does remove that large factory muffler to give you a deeper tone at idle. So speaking of sound, I'm giving this one a 3 out of 5 on the loudness meter. Thanks to that smaller muffler, it definitely wakes up the sound of your exhaust, but because it is still muffled, it's not too overpowering. So as far as price goes, this exhaust comes in at around $300, which is on the lower end price-wise when compared to other options, thanks to the materials it's made out of. Now you do get some more clearance when compared to a full system, and you get some improved sound in the process. And as far as the install goes, I'm giving this one a 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter. It does feature a direct bolt-up install with no modification required and can be done within 2 hours. So with that said, let's check out the install. For this install, we used an impact gun, but a regular hand ratchet will work just fine. You'll also need 15 and 14 millimeter sockets, and you may want an exhaust hanger removal tool. All right, so we have our Tacoma in the air, and the first step in the uninstall is to remove both of the bolts at the front flange of the exhaust. Grab a 14 millimeter socket and let's get these removed. Now we have a little bit of PB Blaster on these just because they are a bit rusty, so we sprayed them down. Now we can remove them with a 14 millimeter socket. Now that we have our exhaust disconnected, we can disconnect all of the hangers as well. We have an exhaust hanger removal tool here. And we're gonna slowly work it off of each of the hangers. You can add a little bit of lubricant here to help the rubber isolator move past the hanger. And you might just have to work it off of the end a little bit. And now that that's off, we can move on to the rest. Now you can repeat that with the rest of your hangers. Just be ready, as once all of your hangers are removed, there's nothing else holding the exhaust to the vehicle. And once the hangers are removed, go ahead and remove it off of your truck. All right, and now that we have our factory exhaust uninstalled from our Tacoma, we can check it out side by side with our new exhaust here. Now, as you can see, they are pretty different from one another. This is a dump style exhaust, so it doesn't extend all the way to the back of your truck. This is popular in off-roading to get you some more clearance when going over those obstacles. It features 2.5-inch piping made from aluminized steel and a much smaller muffler from MBRP to get you a ton more sound over that large factory muffler. So with that said, let's go ahead and finish up our install. All right, now we can get our exhaust installed. We're gonna start at the front flange section, line it up with your factory exhaust. And then we're gonna use the factory hardware to get it installed. Use your factory hardware and make sure the spring is still installed over top of your bolts. Now what you will do is go ahead and thread this in to your factory exhaust. I do want to point out that on our exhaust, the nut on the backside was already removed, so we are using an aftermarket nut. Go ahead and thread that in and repeat that on the other side. Now before we can get our muffler section installed, go ahead and slide a clamp over top, and now we can install the muffler section. Go ahead and slide it over your piping. And now the muffler is in place, go ahead and line up your factory hanger. Now it may be easier to pull this off of the factory hanger and slide the rubber isolator over top of the new one, and then go ahead and line it up. Either way, make sure it's fully seated over the top of both of these hangers. Now go ahead and slide a clamp over the back of your muffler section, and then you can line up the back part of your exhaust. Go ahead and slide it in place, and then we can line up each hanger. Now you can line these up without removing the rubber isolator, but I think it's a little bit easier to remove them off of the factory hangers if you haven't done so already in your uninstall. That way you can go ahead and line them up together and slide them over each hanger simultaneously. Make sure they're fully seated, and then move on to the other one. And now that our exhaust is fully installed, we can go ahead and tighten it down. Grab a 14mm socket, and I am using a wrench on the back side as well because we do have a nut on the back of this through bolt. You'll only need the 14. Go ahead and tighten it down. Now you can go ahead and line up the clamps. You want to make sure the open part in the clamp is about 90 degrees out of the two slots in the opening of the exhaust so that it has a good clamp on the pipe. With a 15mm socket, go ahead and tighten it down. And repeat that for the clamp at the back of your muffler. All right, so that is going to do it for the review and install of this exhaust system. And remember, for all things Tacoma, keep it at extremeterrain.com.